Welcome back into the local and community issues and answers right here with your host, Jonathan Lawson. So glad to have in the studio with us today from the American Red Cross, Mr. Coy Pritchard. Good to be in the studio with you, Mr. Coy.
Thank you for inviting me.
And tell us about the American Red Cross.
The American Red Cross was organized in 1881 by Clara Barton.
Okay.
Her experiences during the Civil War providing relief to individuals sort of shaped her view on humanitarian acts.
Right.
At that time, war-torn Europe started a movement. It was called the Red Cross Committee.
Okay.
And she got involved with that. And 1881 was the very first chapter in New York State. And we've been going strong ever since, providing disaster relief and support to the armed forces.
Now, you help a lot of people every day. You know, like disasters happen, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, whatever. Tell me, give me an idea of what you do, help people.
Well, of course, we do the disasters that make the news.
Right.
You know, Hurricane Irene, we had 165 shelters open on the East Coast for Hurricane Irene.
Okay.
The tornadoes in Alabama, we had shelters open, provided more than 1 million meals to folks in the Alabama area. But more than those large disasters, we do single-family disasters.
Okay.
And that is what every day takes our time.
Right.
We provide assistance to the individual families whose homes have burnt. They have storm damage. I get a lot of house trailers where trees will fall over onto the trailer. I had a landslide in Lee County where a rock fell on the top of a trailer. And of course you can't stay in the home.
Right.
So the Red Cross will provide shelter for 3 days. We provide money for food and clothing.
Oh, this is so good, and you know it takes a lot of people to help these people. I mean,
it does.
You need volunteers, people to get involved.
And you know, after every major disaster, the Red Cross waits a reasonable amount of time, and then they do a survey.
Okay.
How can we provide better services? Did we provide what you needed? What didn't we provide that we should have helped?
Right.
And without exception, we always get feedback that it's the Red Cross volunteer that helped more than anything else. People just need someone to talk to a lot of times.
Exactly.
But we have volunteers that are trained just in child care. We have volunteers that are trained in public affairs.
Okay.
We have volunteers that are trained in mental health, how to talk to the people who have experienced horrific disasters. It's such a rewarding job.
Exactly.
Now, locally, I cover 12 counties.
12 counties.
And either the individual family will call me, or the emergency services folks will call me. A lot of times I'll get a call from the fire chief at the scene of the fire in the middle of the night saying, I have a family that needs a place to stay, can you help? And we immediately put them in a motel. Then make arrangements to meet with them either the next day or whenever they can meet with us, and provide them with a credit card to buy the food that they need, the clothing, and it's very temporary. Now, we don't do any long-term assistance at all. We normally try to cover 3 days. We'll give them time to get insurances started, look for another place to stay, that sort of thing.
But you know, that is making such a huge difference in somebody's life. You know, when devastation hits a family, a home burnt or a storm or landslide or whatever, they're in distraught. They're like, what are we going to do?
And that, I hear that over and over. They call me and they say, I just don't know what to do. A fireman told me to call you.
Right.
They don't know why. A lot of times they're not really sure what services the Red Cross provide. So I talk with them for a little while and kind of explain to them what we'll do. And without exception, they get choked up and they cry as we give them the assistance.
Oh, that's
and
so good.
Of course, I have the same problem. Then I get emotional and it feeds off each other. But each time we meet with a family, you know, it can take as little as 30 minutes or as long as an hour and a half, depending upon how long they need to talk. We're not in a hurry. We provide assistance, and a lot of times that assistance is just talking to the family.
Exactly, and you know, that's the primary reason why we started this program up here on our TV and radio station, is to better inform people, you know, to reach out to the community and give them the valuable answers they need so they can be prepared for things.
And there are many organizations that provide assistance.
Right.
We belong to an organization called Voluntary Organizations Active in Disaster.
Okay.
And we work disasters. Excuse me, as part of that, we also have organizations that help the individual families. But each organization seems to have its own little specialty.
Right.
Some specialize in helping with finding a home after the fact.
Okay.
You know, the community action organizations